management for the show today, Vishal Pundir, Vice President, Operation and Strategy with Electronics Mart India. So basically, the reason why we are having this conversation is because there's a possibility that the GST rate cuts might happen specifically for consumer durables, more specifically for air conditioners. So firstly, how are you looking at this news that is expected to come in going forward? Do you expect a big uptick in sales that could happen as and when this is announced?
Well, yes. So the quarter one of FY26, we saw the decline in air conditioners. With this announcement of the new GST reforms, we will surely see an uptick in the demand, and the prices will be reducing by say 6 to 10%, which is a very good sign for the industry.
Right, sir. But firstly, to understand here, I do understand that the first quarter sales were not that good when it comes to air conditioners specifically. But that would have also led to higher inventories for companies like Electronic Marts of India and other retailers as well. So how are you planning to deal with this? Because at this moment, I believe even consumers might have delayed their buying decision given the fact that they're also expecting a GST rate cut to happen here.
Yes, taken into consideration, so all the inventory, I'll say for my company that the inventory levels are in check, and retailers are cautious and keeping everything like they're taking a calculated risk over their inventory. So I think going forward also it will not be a huge impact, and it'll be all in all good.
Right, but the goods that you have already purchased from the companies that you have purchased with a GST rate of 28%, but then again, if you go
We
ahead
are
and sell,
waiting
right?
for,
Yeah,
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 so we are
please.
waiting for clarification, and once the notification is there out there, and then we'll take the necessary measures.
Then what would be that necessary measure? Actually, I wanted to understand that.
So I think it'll be passed on to the basically the consumers, the end consumers. All the benefits will be passed on.
No,
So
no.
that will be.
Right, sir. I understand the benefits will be passed on as and when the rate cut is announced. But the products that you already have in inventory, for that you might have paid a higher GST to the company, right? So what happens to that extra amount that you have paid?
So the industry leaders are already in talks with the government for the inventory which is already purchased, and we are waiting for the clarification on that.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
Also, very good afternoon to you. It's Puneet this side. Essentially, what's currently happening on the ground? Because we've seen that over the last couple of weeks is what is happening with GST. But how would you describe what happened in July, essentially, as well as early August, before 15th August, essentially? Because we did see that most appliance, companies had mentioned that they are still expecting a better performance in FY26, and that'll be led by Q2 as well as Q3 amongst other quarters. So specifically, if you can give us some perspective on the first half of quarter two, essentially, did you see some form of demand coming back after the early onset of monsoon? Did you see that at the end of July, something in August?
Yes, definitely. So in Q2 we have seen uptick in sales both in July and August. We are seeing good numbers. We are seeing high upper double digits kind of growth in all the categories, like across the appliances. And also we expect new launches for especially for mobile phones coming forward and for laptops. So there'll be huge uptick for the industry. So we are expecting all these to play out in the quarter two, and especially the festive season will also be great this time. We expect huge numbers in the festive season.
And Vishal, essentially in terms of working capital, do you think a lot is right now locked in, or do you expect that it'll be largely some increase in quarter two, as well as an eventual decrease in quarter three that you will see?
Well, as you rightly said, so we are seeing the similar kind of trend. So working capital has to be kept in check, and we'll see slightly higher in like higher number in quarter three going forward. But that's the industry feeler which is going on right now.
Right, sir. And if you could also take us through your growth outlook or growth plans when it comes to the Delhi NCR region.
Yeah. So our guideline is same. So we are going to open 25 to 30 stores. In Delhi, we have already opened 3 stores, and this year we'll be opening 4 more stores in Delhi NCR region. So right now the store count is at 30. We'll increase it by 37 by the end of this financial year. So that's the plan.
And what is your overall store expansion plans for FY26?
So in AP and Telangana, 10 stores each. So total 30 stores in FY26. And in Delhi NCR, there'll be 55 stores in the next 2 financial years.
Right. I believe for FY26, you had a sales growth guidance of 15%. But given the fact that now this GST rate cut is expected and this will proper growth in the second half. Is there a scope for any expansion or any upgrade, any revision in the guidance that you had given?
Well, definitely. So the guideline was similar. So it was 15%, but now since new changes have come forward, we expect this number to be higher, slightly higher.
And Vishal, in terms of, specifically on the large appliances, continuing with that question, have you currently seen in terms of, the inventory for you specifically, is it roughly 50% higher compared to what you would generally have in quarter two of the same time last year? And
That's
of course, okay, got that. And specifically in terms of newer model launches, because we do see a lot of RFQs coming in quarter two for all these brands specifically. So do you feel that there could be some slight increase in discounting in quarter three because of that, but that'll largely also catapult with the festive season discounting which you might give at your stores?
So brands are also playing that out smartly. So they have also upheld with quite a few launches this year. So you will see very calculated launches going forward. And most of the launches which will happen will be in the mobile section and the laptop category. In the RFQ category, you will see calculated launches going forward this year because everyone is waiting for the notification what to do with the previous inventory. So all these things will be taken into consideration, and you'll see going forward the launches will be there.
Right. Also, if you could help us with the breakup on EBITDA margin for the North and the South cluster that you're seeing in FY26, and what is the number that you're expecting for FY27 for both the clusters?
So our EBITDA guideline is same. It will be 6.5% on the overall basis. It'll be so it'll be lower in the Delhi region because we are still in the nascent state, like only 2 years have passed. But in Telangana and South going forward, we'll see slight improvement in the EBITDA margins.
And specifically, Vishal, could you talk to us a little bit about the growth plans essentially in the medium term for your large appliances business? Because we are seeing that roughly about 12% revenue contribution comes from small, 40% from mobiles. But I'm guessing because of the ticket size amongst others, we will see a lot of demand for the large appliances segment as well. Could you give us some medium-term plan as to what is the company's plan essentially for entering either new products in the large appliances space amongst others?
So what has happened is people have, due to discounting going forward in the festive season nearby, people have somewhat maybe I won't say the demand is muted, but it is stable. So going forward also we'll see this demand going slightly up because of the discounts which are getting rolled out soon. So we'll see the uptick in the large appliances number going forward.
And just one final question, Vishal. Essentially, in terms of average selling prices, could you give us some range or perspective for large appliances as well as mobiles?
So for us, the average selling price of mobile is around 35,000, which is the highest in the industry. If you compare it with other retailers, for average selling price for large appliances is around 30,000 rupees, which is also higher than the other retailers.
Vishal, we leave it there. Thanks so much for joining in, giving us perspective on GST amongst other issues that you might be facing. But we look forward to our next conversation, and thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much. Nice talking to you.